Okay, everybody, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Big Three. People, we are at episode number 32. 32 weeks, people. We have done this for 32 weeks of giving you the Big Three as we talk tonight about the big comeback. Yeah, Josh, we were like 2 minutes late. My God, my God, my God. Can we get 2 minutes?
You
Y'all be
know,
so
we on
right.
this is a whole panel of POC. So, what time are we on? Come on, be honest.
Oh my God. We love it. See, we love to be able to stream in prime time on the East Coast. Prime time on the East Coast. Look, we have a good show, a lot to talk about. Um, a lot, a lot to talk about. Somebody even jumped in right off the bat with no Kamala. She turned tail and hid herself on the Hawaiian vacation for months after the election instead of demanding a forensic investigation and recount like the majority of Americans wanted. I mean, I think that's like, let's not ignore the elephant in the room. There are many people that wanted that, but is that on Kamala Harris? The fact that we didn't get the recount.
I mean, the whole thing is they talked about how they would, trust the election results. Was that not one of the big topics that both were supposed to be running off of? Would we trust the election results? I mean, at the end of the day, the results are the results. I mean, you can't be mad, and there's no point of wasting people's time if this is what people decided to vote for or decided to sit out for. And
Yeah,
expecting ask for more of this woman who literally stretched herself to death as a sitting vice president who still
yeah.
had a job to do, and then run in 107 days and run her ass off at that. I mean, what more were y'all continuously asking for this woman? What y'all should have did is, rather than asking her to do more than she already done, maybe you should have done more in those 107 days. Maybe
You know,
that.
and I think another way of looking at it is, was that really Kamala Harris's place? Was that something that she should have done to expend more funds, more money, more resources when the margin of error, it wasn't there. I am one of the people who firmly believe that, like obviously you, that there was a lot of funny business that happened. I lived in the state of Georgia. Kenny was here when this happened. We had bomb threats called in the final hours of the election where polling locations were closed. People saw that. They drove away. They didn't go. We literally drove in my vehicle to my local closest polling location, and we witnessed it in real time. So yeah, there were horrible things that happened, but I cannot say that I believe that it would have been within the margin of error that would have made a difference when I saw the number of people that didn't vote in Georgia. When I saw the number of registered voters, black registered voters that did turn out, I realized then, we probably don't have enough of a fighting chance and definitely didn't have the runway between November the 6th and the actual certification of those results to make a difference. And I think those are some of the kind of things that we have to look at. We also kind of have to look at the fact of this past week's huge showing in Los Angeles and how wonderful I feel former VP performed. And, can we call this a comeback?
Where's
Is
she
she?
gone? She
That's
hasn't
what
gone
I was
anywhere.
saying. Where does she
Like, don't call it a
go?
comeback. She's been here for years. I mean, don't sit here and talk about it. She's been doing her book tour. If there's any indication that people are willing to spend money selling out her book tour, putting money back in her pockets just to see her and have a conversation with her, I think that's any indication that she hasn't left this fight. I mean, she's been on the front lines for Tennessee. She's been on the front lines when it comes to Prop 50. I mean, she's been from pillar to post. She has been visible. I mean, the question is, where have y'all been at? Because she's still on my notification post. I see everything she does. I'm still stalking.
Yeah, I'm gonna quote Little Kim and be like, she's been gone for a minute, but she's back with a jump off. That's where she's back. She just back. She came back with a vengeance. She said, I'm gonna go on all these shows. I'm gonna do me. I took a little break. I did my tour, and now I'm coming back to talk my shit. And that's the way I see it. She just wants to be able to say what's on her mind. And she has all rights to say what is on her mind and all this speculation. Oh my God, Kamala's running. Axios making all these articles. Kamala's making her way. She's going to announce that she's going to run. I don't give a shit about none of that because Kamala hasn't said what she's going to do. All she has said is that she is sick of this shit the same way all the rest of us are sick of this shit. And she has all rights to be able to do that and make money off of her book because guess what? people bought it, and it was selling. So, and she has sold out shows. So she wants to go to the South and talk to the people there. That's what she said her goal was, to talk to the people. And that's what she's gonna do. So I'm fine with her doing that. Everybody else can go on podcasts. I see Gavin on podcasts. I see even my governor, Wes Moore, is on all kinds of podcasts. Everybody's making their rounds, but as soon as the black lady does it, then everybody's like, oh my God, what's happening? What's going on with the black lady? Why she's coming out? It's annoying. Like, let her do her. She was the VP. She wasn't like some just rando in the government. She was the VP. She has things she wants to get off her chest. And Michelle Obama's doing the same thing. She got a damn book and the book tour, and why everybody else gets to do their own thing, but Kamala can't. That's what that annoys me.
Because they're still threatened. You know what she was able to. Again, there is no. I don't think it was a heavy feat on what she was able to accomplish in those 107 days. I'm still proud of the campaign she ran, because that was the most happiest that I felt in so long, the most hopeful that I felt in so long. Those 107 days were joy, hope on what we could have had. Unfortunately, a lot of us, a lot of people just wasn't, they held on to fear and hopelessness and decided to go with the felon in chief, and that's what they decided to do. But I was proud of the campaign she ran. I mean, she hit she left no stone unturned. She went on Fox News, she went on 60 Minutes, she met people where they were, and she wasn't scared to answer any of the hard questions. Even people who even protested her, like the uncommitted movement. She went to every place that you can think of. People who completely disrespected her. She went from pillar to post, trying to meet people in the middle and try to break ground and find common ground. But unfortunately, we just probably didn't have enough time. But I was proud of the campaign that she ran. And
I don't know what I missed. I don't
no
know what
regret.
No, it was good. Kenny, I'm sure Kenny did a great job of stalking. I had an emergency call. I got a leak in the basement. People and advocacy readers say they feeling the heat. Now, guess who hasn't? Let me just take a moment, people. Guess who hasn't been feeling the heat? Is my black ass in the coldest weather that we've had continuously in Georgia in probably a decade, where it has truly been in the 20s every night for about 3 fucking weeks. And during all 3 of those weeks, I have had no heat. Now, at first, I didn't realize that the heat was broken, like, because it was blowing, but it was blowing no air that was worth, like, it wasn't heat. So I thought, and the thermostat was broke, so it said 72. So I'm like, I'm just cold. But it wasn't 72 degrees in my house, people. It was like my house was in the 60 degrees. How am I alive? I don't know. I could have frozen to death. I could have been like a chocolate pop right here. I'm not. I'm okay.
So you're telling me, with our special Negro senses, you didn't smell the heat? Because I can smell the heat when it's on. Don't sit here and play.
I have no idea what kind of magical Scooby-Doo noses you have, but I'm most
certainly. What are you talking about? Everybody in the comments, don't play. I've never smell the heat when it's on. It has a particular scent.
They're like, yep. They're like, people are literally, yep. No, I couldn't smell heat. And so for 4 days in a row, the people have come, they get it back on, and I wake up in the morning and it's gone back off. So luckily today, I had to really show my ass. And I think it's finally fixed. Only to come downstairs, I told Tiffany before you got on, Kenny, only to come downstairs. My family comes for Christmas, and my whole house, a full house, every room in the house is fully utilized and full of people. My family's coming for Christmas. I go to the basement, because I never go in the bathroom in the basement, and it's a fucking leak. So that phone call was the plumber I just tried to schedule for, saying, yes, we can come in the morning, because I need to see how bad of a situation this really is, because it looks like it's a pretty bad leak in that bathroom. So I'm like, geez Louise. But you know what? In a way, I'm like, let it be a blessing, because it's a Christmas season. And so some plumber is about to get blessed. Praise the Lord. So I don't know what I missed, Kenny, but thank you so much. All that to say, thank you so much for holding it down while I was indisposed. I do want to know, guys. Not even to know, but I want to take a brief moment to thank and give recognition to DNC Ken Martin. I think that he did a great job in Los Angeles. Have you guys heard anything different? From what I've seen, he looked like he did a great job. He's running a good show.
I mean, I like Ken Martin. I know people have had issues with things that he's said or don't really understand his strategy, but I think that's just, again, a lack of people not listening to him. And sometimes we hear bits and pieces, tidbits of what people are saying, but don't fully understand what the goals are. And that is also, it's also his fault too, but it's also a lack of media that's willing to platform. And Jamie Harrison had the same issue where people were not able to hear the message.
Mhm.
And what the DNC is trying to do is to ensure that they are everywhere. They want to be everywhere in every place to be able to win. And what we are seeing is some of the fruits of that labor, where we are seeing local races where people are not supposed to be winning, where investments are made. And let me just say this, because
and this is the refresh. This is Morgan.
Yeah.
So Tiffany, can you just like you hit it? They're trying to be what does that mean? They're everywhere. So that is the strategy. And I think that's what some of the people who say the Democrats have a message or they're confused about what he's doing. That is his plan. Democrats are everywhere.
Right, exactly. And I think people need to understand what the DNC actually does, because, we've always had this conversation. What does the DNC? One, the DNC does not give money directly to candidates. That is not how the DNC works. The DNC it basically is an investment tool. They invest in state parties who then take that money, and they are the ones who are helping these candidates in local races and state races. They are trying to help them to be able to get canvassing, to get out the vote, having events, doing all these different things. Here in Maryland, we have the same thing. Our Democratic Party, we have candidates on the ballot. They give the party gives them, the DNC gives them money, and they take that money and they are helping the candidates. So that's what the DNC does. It is not a person that all these conspiracy theories of the DNC is rigging stuff and they're doing. The DNC does not even get involved in primaries.
Say it again. They're not involved in primaries. They're not involved in Jasmine Rico. Like they're not
exactly. That's not their goal. That's not what they're doing. When a candidate is picked, they will go out and they will spend the money. And we have seen Ken Martin very active in different places in small towns, canvassing, going and talking to people, trying to get people to vote. I mean, DNC does not recruit candidates. I need people to stop saying that. Like there are state parties that do it. Now, some states have terrible state parties like Texas, but that can be improved. Maryland has a great one. Georgia had one.
Georgia is getting better.
Georgia's getting better.
We had one, we lost one, and we are regaining it. So I will give credit to the state party. They have truly, it seems like, very quickly pulled their shit together, but it's still not in enough time to have fielded good candidates for our 2026 statewide elections. But I think the future looks bright.
Yeah, the future is definitely bright, and we have to let. The problem is that people want immediate results. They want everything to happen within like a month, but that's not the way things work, right? First of all, DNC does have a lack of funding right now. There is a lack of funding the DNC has. Let's keep it real. But they also have sister organizations, and a lot of people are donating to the DCCC or the DSCC because we have upcoming congressional races. DSCC is for Senate, DCCC is for the House members. So then there's also there's also other orgs like for legislative, for the governors have their own. So people are donating to them, not necessarily the DNC. They have to take a loan, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole long story. But the DNC still, yeah, exactly, Contessa. They are the bank. Like they are the bank. They hold the purse. They're like Congress. They hold the purse. And they are the ones that give the money to the people. The people have to do the work, right? Anyways, the point is that I think Ken Martin, I think he's done a really good job. And I saw him on MSNBC, Miss Now, as Kenny would say. And
what is it, Miss Now? We call
it Miss Now.
That's what I call it, because Kenny said that's
I agree. We will now call them Miss Now. I like that.
He was on there with Simone and them, and he's a pretty sharp guy, and he was talking, and I appreciated what he was saying, because at the end of the day, this is about work. The problem is that people don't want to do the work. people just want to win and they want to have progress without doing the work. But this campaigning involves doing work, and people don't want to do that. So he's trying to emphasize that. And I think having Kamala Harris obviously at the convention, not the convention, it was like the winter whatever thing that they do for the DNC. And she was there and she talked, and I appreciate that. I mean, it was brave for them to even invite her, because people would be hating for no reason. Like, they were mad that Kamala was at the damn thing. Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all people? Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. I want to say, and again, you're right. The damn pumps and dumbass. I was a fan. I bought their book. I love them, and
they tricked you like most white women do.
Mm-hmm.
I met them. I sat down with them at the DNC. Had a lovely hot dog. At the DNC, they was, the poor creators.
Nastiest. That DNC had the nastiest chicken fingers I have ever tasted in my whole fucking life. Okay?
We were basically being starved to death, but we were really struggling. Whereas, again, as Kenny showed me today, there was major creators that had huge suites. But anyway, while we were being little peasants on the ground begging for hot dogs, I had to sit down with both of these women, and with Jennifer, and it was really great, and she was pleasant. I just think that there's money now being pumped into that organization, and I think that money is coming from far leftist sources, and it's really, I think, shifting their tone. But I do want to say that one big part, I've met Ken Martin multiple times, and I'm so impressed by the fact that this man knows me every time he sees me, with all the hundreds of thousands of people that he has to see all the time. And it's not like he sees me often. It's very infrequent. But every time he's seen me, he's known me, and he's been extremely wonderful and like conversational and just really, really great. So he's just a very talented politician. I'll say that. I can tell that off the bat. And I just really have grown to like him a lot. And I understand the strategy. I struggled sometimes with the divergent messages, but I do firmly believe, and I'm seeing the results of it, the Democrats in New York need a New York message, and the Democrats in California need a California message, but the Democrats in Georgia need a Georgia message. And that's how you win, because you're running a 50-state campaign and you're fighting for every single election that's out there. So, I've come around and I fully embrace that whole entire concept of philosophy. We have a big tent for good and for bad, and if that's what we're going to have, that's what we have to play like it. I didn't want to spend too much time on that, especially when you have all of this. Now, this week, Kenny has gone on an absolute tirade of attack in defense of Jasmine Crockett and her Senate run. We saw this, talked about it last week. So if you missed that, go back and watch it. But you've got to see this video, because Kenny has some things to say. And I just want to say, this is the beginning of quite the Dennis the Menace, Kenneth the Menace, in this blonde wig. And I think this is the beginning. I'm telling you, people, we're going to be seeing a lot of this. Does she have a name, Kenny?
See, this is a soft launch, and this is my Karen wig. Okay, this is Kenny Karen. Okay,
Karen Kenny.
But this is a soft launch, because I think I was very nice, because honestly, I was going to be truly a menace if I was going to go after the person that I shared in that video. But I decided to take a different approach and make it more educational and lift Jasmine up rather than trying to tear somebody down.
I loved it. This is a video.
Just keep on talking. They ain't got no goals, ain't got no action. These hoes ain't even poppin', talking. Yeah, I can see you watching.
People spitting a lot of shit about Jasmine Crockett, so let's clock it. They say that she's all talk. But let's talk about these tangibles. As a freshman congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett bust her ass to get y'all electric buses. We're talking nearly a $2 million investment in the Cedar Hills Independent School District. And Jasmine Crockett played a critical role in securing that funding. Look, Jasmine Crockett ain't Biggie Smalls. It's not more money, more problems. It's more problems solved. Crockett locked it. She was able to secure $500,000 in federal funding to the Community Lawyering Center. It's funny how people say that Crockett only centers herself, but the center she was able to secure money for has centered the people. Did you know that this center provides legal services for low-income residents, specializing in areas like housing, family law and immigration and do all this shit for the free? Keith, she don't sound self-serving and egotistical to me. Word on the curb is Keith Sweat says that Jasmine's not meeting voters where they're at. Who have been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Just because she's not on Jubilee doesn't mean that she's not reaching out to Texas voters. In fact, Jasmine commits to working with local ethnic media, meaning Black and brown media matters. She wants to focus on radio, reaching out to community leaders, and focus on communities that have often been overlooked. She wants to make herself available to all people with a platform, large or small. In fact, here's a clip that I borrowed from Houston local named Lisa.
I want to make sure that those smaller local papers.
And that was an excellent interview. Excellent interview.
Whether they're going to their church or the synagogue, we printed out approximately 80 pages worth of radio stations. So I believe in layering our communications. I don't believe that the end all be all is to go up on broadcast TV. Also, I believe in meeting people where they are. So we are talking to locally elected officials about where is it that people in your areas get their information and who is underutilized.
And speaking of underutilized, Jasmine Crockett this past Sunday at Fountain of Praise said one of the most important and pivotal pieces of information as it pertains to the Senate, congressional, and state elections. People of color make up 61% of Texas residents. And Republicans want us to believe that we are powerless when the power is truly with the people. And speaking of power and people, the only reason why Jasmine Crockett is getting all these unsolicited and unprovoked attacks is because of that.
The state that has more African Americans than any other state, they decided that African American voices in the state of Texas would only be valued at 1/5. We're not even at 3/5, y'all. When it came down to making this very difficult decision in a state that a lot of people don't believe in, I am here to tell you that this ain't gonna be easy, and I'm here to tell you that a lot of people are going to say that it is impossible. But the reality is that the only reason that I am being attacked is because they know your power. Yeah. They know your strength.
Exactly.
And I think you brought up a great point. So I'm gonna, Crystal was like, Rico took money from Allison. Please address Rico in his Jubilee appearance. Well, I addressed that, a lot of that on the Roland Martin show on Friday. And this was that. And I want to also say, when it comes to these people, Roland, when you put up you call them white progressives, white far leftist, and their Black friends. Okay, and their Black friends. You could call them out there on social media with an organized attack campaign against Jasmine Crockett, paid for by God knows who. I bet you could boomerang that back to Republican conservative money that wants to see her quickly fall in this race. And what you will not see, though, is the same level of scrutiny of Rico. And I get that he might be, for somebody, a great candidate or a great person, but I want to say publicly on this platform that I don't feel this man is qualified anywhere near the level of Representative Crockett. He has the more work to do. He has the more growing to do. When it comes to how to reach Black people, when it comes to how to reach Black people and the issues that are germane to us, he has a lot more research and learning to do. And when you talk about the issue of AIPAC, when you talk about the issue of Israel, when you talk about that, and where Jasmine has voted, don't you dare not talk about where Rico has voted. Don't dare forget the fact that during the third special session of the 88th Texas legislature in October of 2023, this man voted with everybody else to support and affirm Israel. That happened. He's on record having done it. It's right there. In addition to that, please don't forget this man's number one donor in 2024 being Donald Trump's best friend and your Texas homegirl, Roland, your Texas homegirl, Marion Edelson, being his number one donor. That to me tells me where this man's loyalties lie, not about Israel, but about the people who are funding him and maybe why they're funding him. Let's just, that needs to be a part of the conversation too. I'm sorry.
So I just want to bring it up. I just want to show folks.
So that's the the reality, and people haven't want to talk about it. I want to say Kenny is, first off, we owe Kenny anyone who's a fan of Jasmine Crockett. You owe Kenny Walden already a debt of gratitude for being so active and so vocal in the work. And that's all I'll say for that. But you really do. He's doing an amazing set of work, some amazing work. And I'm proud of him. I'm watching him really just buckle down in a democratic strategist kind of way and evolve his skill set, evolve his brand, evolve his work. I want to say that I don't know why Kenny loves Jasmine Crockett. I don't know that. I can tell you that I myself am supporting Jasmine Crockett and saying that she has a chance of running for Senate after saying that I didn't know if she could win. Because I was still, like some of you out there, reeling from the defeat of the overly qualified former Vice President Kamala Harris to the fuckery that we have in the White House today. And I do not have a significant amount of faith in people in the state of Texas to choose their best interests in a race. However, from what I have seen and from what I have researched, even with that being said, I still would not have been able to support James Telrico. There are a lot of people that are not going to disparage this young man, and I understand that, and that's fine. But I cannot sit here and say that even if Jasmine Crockett was not running, I would have been able to say I'm a fan of James Telrico, because I'm not a fan of James Telrico. I'm not a fan of the way that he gaslights and the way that he carefully manipulates conversations, which most politicians do. So I'm not saying that what I'm seeing is anything different than what I'm seeing from many politicians. I'm just saying it's not in line with what I like to see from Democrats getting to office. I have heard this man talk in disparaging ways about Democrats too many times. And I believe that is a red flag and a sign of a John Fetterman to come, of a Christian senator to come. If you are on the campaign trail before getting into a seat and you are downing the party, you will flip on the party we need you the most. That's what I believe. And the fact that his number one donor is Miriam Edelson, a Republican donor, Donald Trump's third biggest donor, almost right under Elon Musk and Mr. Paramount Plus Ellison. That's all I needed to know to say this motherfucker can't be trusted. He cannot be trusted. And as a result of that, he cannot win this primary. And he cannot, because we can't trust him. And I'll say it because I don't think anybody else would. I don't give a damn. Fuck him. I'm going to call it out.
Well, let me just say this about Miriam Edelson. I don't know if you saw the video of Trump.
That's how I'm going to say her name, Edelson.
Oh, how do you say her name properly? I don't want to mispronounce it.
I don't know how to say it. I don't fool with them Edelsons.
Miriam Edelson. So Trump was just praising her, saying that she was she gave $250 million indirectly or directly to his campaign. He was just praising her and told her to come on up and take a stand of applause. Just crazy shit, right? But as far as what we're talking about when it comes to Jasmine and Telrico, there is an orchestrated, targeted attack on Jasmine Crockett, similar to what we dealt with, particularly with Kamala supporters, as we saw misinformation, disinformation that came from her campaign, particularly from leftists, again, that started and stirred the Kamala Harris as a cop in 2019, which, followed her all the way until she became the Democratic nominee. And it is once they label, particularly Black women, it's hard to break that label. One thing I will at least say is, uniquely for Jasmine Crockett, she does have a good rapport with a lot of content creators who are willing to stick their neck out there and use their platform to debunk the misinformation. So I do see that Jasmine Crockett did get better pushback than Kamala Harris did. So it kind of gives me a little bit of hope on what we can do to kind of truly push back on this type of rhetoric and misinformation, disinformation.
They have the blueprint. So
that's exactly what it is, Zach, because we fought for years and they saw us how we pushed back and went
pause that. Wait, that is people. This is a motherfucking mic drop. Say it again, Tiffany. Who did? We did.
We did. The KF did. Yeah, we did the work. So people saw and they KF definitely was, we had to formulate. We were like Voltron. We had to come together and with no organization and figure out how to defend this lady for years. Okay. And we still, even now, we still are not an organized group enough to be able to do this. But I am proud of the fact that there are content creators who now have big platforms, because back then, if you think about it, most of the people that have big platforms were not even known. I mean, Kenny had very little followers. Me and Kenny came up together. We have very little followers. We were just in the game, ready to defend Kamala. And now we can take that to Jasmine and kind of know all of these things that people do, like that bitch ass Keith whatever his face is, because I am sick of him. Because he once called me a psyop.
He did.
And baby, he got his ass handed to him this week on Threads. Baby,
it's been beautiful to see. It's been so beautiful to see that
first
you're dragging.
First he came for you, then he came at Maya sideways, then he came at I think her name is Keandra, and I'm like, okay, well now you done started some shit because you done mess with the wrong black people now, and this is what he gets. I'm happy.
This is the beautiful thing that I love about it. So right now, I've been trying my best to be on my best behavior because Zach keeps saying you need to be worried about your brand. You don't want to be deemed as brand toxic. So I've been having handcuffs behind my back because of this one down here. This one down here has been handcuffing me to the bed, so I cannot do all the things I want to do because once I get started, I don't stop.
Kenny sends it to me for approval, and I say, "What, Kenny?" Most of the time, I have to say no. Not
he
lately.
Always telling me no.
No.
But at some point, there's going to be a point, and I'm just going to be honest. You see this right here? This right here is going to come back, and I don't give a damn what backlash I get. But once it comes back, and I am unshackled and unburdened by what has been, which is Zach down here, Zachary Kirk, I am going to let loose and drag the hell out of every damn body. But 2026, we're going to see. Because I've been nice 2025. I've been, trying to curate my content to reach broader audiences. But at this point, I have to release the demon, the dragon. And I just gotta burn this mother to the fucking ground.
A little bit longer, Daenerys. Hold that dragon. Listen.
I can't. We have too much shit going on right now. And right now, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Leftists want to take over the Democratic Party and they want to throw the blacks out. They want to throw all the people of color out. That's the reason why they've been like gaslighting and moving the goalposts and keep talking about, we need to move away and focus on class consciousness and move away from the identity politics of it. But even when you're looking at it, when you're looking at class consciousness and identity politics, especially when it comes to race, those things are interconnected. Are they forgetting that the real reason why they removed why they had to get rid of the slaves is because the mere fact that poor white trash in the North was struggling? They didn't want us free.
Kenny, I 100% agree. Listen, people say Keith who, because we didn't talk about like Keith Edwards. And I want to say, Keith Edwards has the 5th largest, fastest growing, platform on YouTube. So shout out to Keith. He is a definitive progressive content creator. But Keith has his weaknesses and biases, and I have to say Keith has a soft spot in my heart because
he's gay.
No, it's not because Keith is gay. Kenny may not remember this, but I will never forget it. The first time that I met Keith, I was really mean to him, and I hurt his feelings. And I realized Keith is very sensitive, so I'm not surprised to see how he's shocked when he says stuff that he shouldn't say, and then like is attacked. But I boldly, and it was inappropriate. So you guys know, you've seen me, if you've watched all 32 episodes, have moments. I have moments. And at the damn White House, at a table with people in a nice suit, I did have a bit of a moment on Keith because he was denigrating Joe Biden at the damn White House that Joe Biden invited us to. And I definitely kind of went off on him, and I was probably too hard. And I said some things that were not appropriate. It wasn't it was professionally said.
I was there at that meeting when we were there for the State of the Union, right?
It was professionally said, but it was.
You didn't say anything wrong.
It was a cut. No, I should not have said something very specific that I said about education. And I know, and I regret it. I still regret it. I wish I hadn't have said it, and I feel bad about it, and I still feel bad about it. So I guess I'm a little bit softer, nicer to Keith, or a little bit more like, oh, poor Keith. He just does, because I don't think he knows any better. But bitch, let me tell you. But guess what?
Regardless if you know any better, it's going to be what they say about a hard head.
Yeah, what I was going to say is he learned this week, motherfucker. You two, y'all done taught his ass. He don't learn.
He don't mess with me because I already done cursed him out. I did a whole video on him. Like, I don't like him. I just really don't care about him because I think that he comes out his face, and I don't like when people come out their face. And then when somebody cries, they were literally trying to call this man in and say to him nicely, like, hey, you really shouldn't be talking like that. What you're doing is wrong. Can he try to call him in? And he doubled down and then started playing victim. And I don't do victim because that shit annoys the fuck out of me. Okay.
And then
That's
he wants to make it seem he played that reverse Uno call. This is reverse racism. I am a white male. I'm a white. Okay, let's just go ahead and just back it up so those who don't know what happened. So on Threads, he actually made a tweet about Jasmine Crockett and said that she's running a campaign that's based off of ego. And she's making everything about herself. And this is like selfish what she's doing because she decided to run. I mean, to say that a Black woman, which is funny, it's interesting that when a woman who has aspirations or wants to go for a higher office, all of a sudden it's selfish, it's self-centered. But yet when white males decide to do something, all of a sudden they're strong, they're powerful. Even in the same instance where I'm starting to see the same type of rhetoric happen right now as it pertains to Gavin Newsom, where I see a lot of people saying, Gavin Newsom's the only person out here, pushing back against Donald Trump, he should definitely be the nominee and he shouldn't have any nominee, any challengers. We should just hand it to him. The nomination is what I'm seeing. I'm like, we don't know who the Democratic nominee, he, she, them, they may be. We don't know who that's going to be. But at the same time, when you guys complained and said that you were upset that, Kamala Harris just got the nomination. We didn't have a primary when we did. Okay, because I voted. I don't know where y'all was, but I did vote for Joe Biden during the primary because there was other motherfuckers on that ballot. Okay. But in the same breath, y'all want to go ahead and nominate and just, make a kingmaker to the damn white man. It's always interesting that the rules are different based off of complexion. And it's interesting that there's always nuance, right? Nuance and different levels of scrutiny based off of complexion. Again, even when we're talking about James Tallarico, and this is not me attacking him or anything, but Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico share the same stance when it comes to Israel and Gaza.
Same stance, except one of them.
However, she never received any AIPAC money, but one of his largest donors is a Zionist. She's Miriam Willison, who's also, Trump's one of the second largest donors. So it's interesting that they keep moving the goalposts and they have more scrutiny for Jasmine, who hasn't taken any money. Jasmine, whose, stance and vote is about damn near the same as what Tallarico would do. So it's interesting that they're holding her to a different level of scrutiny and standard than the white boy. But honestly, what it is they feel like they love you when you know your place. But yet let you seek higher authority or seek a higher position, all of a sudden, they feel the need to humble you. And right now, I am tired of feeling humble. I'm tired of setting limitations based off of what people think that I have the ability to do. Nobody knows what I can and cannot accomplish.
Tell them you are unlimited.
I am unlimited, okay? The sky is the limit. The limit is only what limits I place on myself, not what others set upon me. Otherwise, I would have never made it to any of these rooms.
The thing about what pissed me off about what Keith and a lot of these leftists are doing, and there's a lot of good, I don't know if y'all are on Threads, but there's a lot of good content creators on Threads who are very smart and know how to clap back. It's a little bit different than Twitter because Twitter is Twitter, okay? And that's like we just be in fight mode. Over there, people try to talk and have conversation. And I'm proud of the people that are on there who really do try to educate folks and talk through these issues. But there are just some ignorant ass people over there that just do not listen. And you know what? At the end of the day, what I see, and I think Reese hit on this in the clip that she posted with Clay Kane, and I had said it a couple days before that, is that the problem that I have with leftists is the fact that they are not consistent. They are not consistent people, and that is what we are seeing. Colin Allred was in this race for how many months he's been in this race, and no one talked about the fact that one, he didn't take AIPAC money. He voted for the same exact bills that Jasmine voted for, and some that she did not vote for. And no one had anything to say about the fact that he is a person who supports Israel, because it wasn't an issue in this race. But the moment that Jasmine jumps in, this rogue DNC account starts some shit, and now everybody is jumping on Jasmine, saying that she, you know, she's a Zionist, she's this, she's that, and it became a topic of conversation. James was in this race. No one was talking about that before. So the question then becomes, why is it as soon as Jasmine gets in that now this is the topic? And why is it that it seems like anytime it's a Black woman that people have this issue? And this is why Black content creators are pissed off at this, because we are seeing through the bullshit that these people, I have even seen Asian creators, I have seen white creators, I have seen every walk of creator trying to defend Jasmine at this point, because although people may have had issues with Kamala Harris for whatever reason, everybody pretty much universally loved Jasmine Crockett as an individual, as somebody who was in the house, who fought, who was going to get down, argue, say what needed to be said. And so why all of a sudden are y'all flipping the script on her, other than the fact that you're scared of her? As we said about Kamala Harris, you're doing the same pattern. And when people start to see a pattern, they start to see through the bullshit. And the bullshit is that leftists do not like Black women, period.
They don't. They want to use you, and they'll use, oh, well, look, we love Cori Bush. Child, where is she? We love Jamal Bowman. Where are they? Where are they?
Again,
like they'll sit there and say, well, she needs to go out here and say unequivocally that she doesn't like AIPAC, da 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 da. But if she just, based off of her actions, the fact that she's not taking any of their money, her actions should speak louder than her words. But yet you want her to make a target out of herself, to where they go ahead and support her opponent. And I'm talking about if she became the nominee, support her opponent and make a target. Because my question is, when y'all sit here and say that y'all have the same level of protection, right? When it comes to people who are willing to go against AIPAC or any of all of this big money, well, put your money where your motherfucking mouth is. If you want somebody to be unequivocally not taking any type of money, any corporate donors, well, where the fuck is your money? You need to be able to supply. Where is it? Y'all sitting here talking all this shit, but yet y'all never give the dollars. When y'all sat here and said that y'all love Cori Bush, why the hell did she get kicked the fuck out? Why did Jamal Bowman get kicked the fuck out? Y'all had absolutely no level of protection for these people, but they did everything you asked them to, and you didn't do shit to keep them in office. They're gone.
This is what happened. This is what they do. I mean, it's a pattern. It's been a pattern. And I mean, think about even back to Kenny, you know, we was all up in Nina Turner's shit, right? When she was running, they didn't help her. They didn't help
worth the fucking damn. The only thing she got from Bernie was that fucking mail bus that they, but whatever the hell that was, they put her face on it.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, and
this
is
like an ice cream truck running around here in Ohio's 11.
Pedal truck. But that shit, they love to talk about how they support these people, but they don't give their, remember we just talked about work, right? They don't work to help these people. They're not out there phone banking, knocking on doors, doing all this stuff to help these people. All they do is complain about Democrats. They complain about what Democrats are not doing, and at a certain point it becomes you become anti-Democrats, and that's what a lot of these people are turning into, is anti-Democrats, because you don't even want Democrats to win at this point, because then if they win, then you don't have no shit to complain about, and that's all they do is fucking complain.
But the problem is they feel like the reason why they're upset with us is because they feel like they've been rejected or told to sit down and shut the fuck up. That is not the case. We've always wanted to welcome you guys in, but there's a way of trying to enter a room. You don't enter a room and slap the hell out of everybody and say, I'm the shit, and then say, I'm taking over all of this. No, calm down, bit. I need you to learn something while you're coming in here and learning to work as a collective. We don't mind working. We love brand fresh new ideas, but how you beating down our party, creating voter apathy, That's where I'm gonna have an issue.
That's the problem. And they're paid to do it. I firmly believe it. And you know who else I think is being paid to do it? You know who else is being paid to do it? The one and the only people, Nicki Minaj. So this is something that I think this is a great way to kind of end the show before we take our little Christmas break. I think it's really important to talk about Nicki Minaj's turn to MAGA and whether or not this is going to actually be a boost to the right when it comes to a certain kind of voter that they obviously want and her motivations. This video was created by one of her fans, right? The Barbs are a notoriously creative and talented fan base, and they do good stuff like this. So I'm gonna stop.
Okay, I got a question.
And I'm trying to stop it before it got, this is so offensive, and I was trying to stop it before it got to damn offensive part. And what the fuck happened? It still showed it. Damn it to fuck. But anyway, you see the point.
Why is Franklin there? When did Franklin turn into MAGA? I grew up with Franklin. Y'all don't understand the turtle.
Pete Hegseth stole Franklin when he was doing his defense of having bombed the innocent ships off of the coast of Venezuela. And so, yes, somebody said, didn't they tell them motherfuckers to stop using that damn turtle? They did. They told them to stop using Franklin, but they're still using it. So
I don't even say
is this going to be effective in capturing?
I hope she gets her citizenship after this because she's lost a lot of Barbs. I don't know if you've seen it on Barb TikTok, but everybody is pissed. Okay, throwing out Nicki Minaj
finals. Really are angry and that they're leaving her, but she did have a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, gain huge streams after. So MAGA is now running to support her. And she has
how sustainable is that going to be? Because are they going to be going are they going to be going to Gag City? I mean, they don't understand the nature of it. Unfortunately, I was going to do a whole video about it to kind of like break down why so many people feel betrayed by Nicki Minaj and why it's very hard, especially for like young LGBT youth, to let her go. In that coming out period, you know, a lot of people live vicariously through Nicki Minaj, and they pulled a lot of strength to be able to have, you know, the tenacity and be able to walk in your truth because, you know, everybody wants to be a bad bee. But like a lot of people, like a lot of people, older gays, they pulled on the strength from Little Kim, or they pulled the strength from MC Light or any of the girls back then. But the young gays, like in the early 2010s, they pulled their strength from Nicki Minaj. She encouraged people to join the closet. I mean, she even lied and said that she had a gay man living inside of her named Roman. That's where all of the extra comes from. So I think a lot of gays saw themselves in Nicki and wanted that sense of, I guess, representation and I guess a sense of community. A lot of people grew up where they didn't have a community, and building that community with Barbs and, you know, being scared to come out of the closet. I don't know if y'all saw Lil Nas X and him explaining you know, how he lived vicariously through Nicki Minaj and how he was able to find a community that was accepting to him because he was scared of coming out of closet in school because people bullied him. So the Barbs
Say to them gays, get on
almost low key a cult.
take it to the Lord in prayer. I didn't need a community because I had Jesus, who loved me as I am.
Child, they didn't have that.
I didn't have to look at Gag City. I don't have to look forward to going to Gag City when I can look forward to going to heaven.
It went to the whole thing is just a mess. But I thought that Gavin's clapback was actually funny. The video that his team did
using Megan's song at that.
With a Megan song at that. I mean, I have stayed out of all of this Nicki Minaj craziness because I think she's just absolutely insane. And she married that pedo, and I don't understand the trajectory of where she thinks this is going to land. Because first of all, at the end of the day, MAGA don't like black people. They're not gonna buy her,
and they don't like undocumented immigrants.
Right. It's just a hot ass mess. I don't understand what her purpose is. I just wish she would go away, get off drugs if that's what she's on, and just go find some peace and go raise her damn son. That's all I'm saying.
But she can't. I mean, she can't even raise him in peace or any of those things because she's constantly in some sort of turmoil or some sort of drama. Like, I've never seen somebody like take a nosedive since 2017. She's constantly been in controversy, and it's not good controversy. I don't know this new Minaj. Nicki Minaj used to tell Barbs, you need to stay in school, this, that, and the other. Then you're going to have to support somebody who's cutting the Department of Education. Like, nothing that you're doing makes any fucking sense, Nicki. You are literally going against everything that you said that you believed in. And then in a tweet, you're going to attack trans people when one of your biggest supporters, T.S. Madison, went to bat for you back to back to back. And then you want to sit here and say, well, for the sane adults and attacking trans kids. I'm glad that Newsom stood up for the trans kids, especially compared to what he did earlier this year. But, you know, hey,
recently.
Yeah. So they said something about, I think it was JD Vance tweeted Gavin Newsom for trans kids, and all he did was retweet it with retweet as affirming, yes, I do love trans kids and this, that, and the other. As far as I believe they have the right to exist and walk in their truth. Nobody's sitting here advocating for transgender children getting surgeries, but just having the right to exist. Do they not know that affirmation is just affirming the fact that you are what you say you are?
So right, so T.S. Madison is defending still Nicki, or she's
no. T.S. Madison ain't said shit. She's not even getting involved. She said, "Look, I'm staying out of it."
Okay, I'm just,
I'm just saying, in the past, T.S. Madison has been good.
I would love to see her say something now because I'm gonna be honest. I'm still on the fence about T.S. Madison. I know, shocker, right? I don't give a fuck. I'll tell it like it is.
I love Maddie.
I don't know if I like T.S. Madison because she said some things that I haven't liked. So, nah.
Everybody ain't gonna have the best take.
Zach always cracks me up with who he likes and who he doesn't like. And
no. I'm talking about just like T.S. Madison. No content person is gonna ever have the best take. Child, we gonna fuck up.
I'm with Zach on this. Some things I like, some things I don't like. So sometimes I'm giving like a side eye, like did that person say that?
What you like?
So I'm with you. Like some people you gotta like dig a little bit deeper.
And I'm waiting. If she came out and denounced Nicki Minaj now, I think I would like her more because again, but we'll see. So this is the great question from Citizen Morgan about what song would Trump come out to on the campaign trail of Nicki Minaj. I'm certain that they'll be using her discography on the campaign trail. Now, Citizen didn't answer her own question.
Come out the stupid hoe because that's what he is.
She said pills and potions. Kenny, you said he come out the stupid hoe?
He should come out the stupid hoe because that's exactly what the fuck he is. A stupid fat asshole.
I would say Monster. I think the whole damn administration come out to that remix of Monster and everybody had a damn verse because they are all motherfucking monsters. Bad bitches from Sri Lanka. But I definitely would have to say that would be Tiffany. What do you even know a Nicki Minaj song?
I do know the song, but I don't know the names of them, so I don't really care about her. She's like the least person that I'll even listen to. I mean, of course, I know the popular songs. Don't ask me the names of them. I do not know. I know Monster, but I just don't like her. I never have.
You
No,
know, it's so
I
sad.
think that
I
you
am
and I
so
both
embarrassed.
are Cardi people. So I think that we have that in common.
Yeah, I definitely am a Cardi girl.
But
So
I
Kenny
am
picked me.
so embarrassed, you guys. So
he was a
I
bar.
did I went through my discography. Now, 2026 is going to be completely different. Y'all going to see it. But
Yes.
I posted publicly like my top 5 artists. My top artist number 1 was Lady Gaga. Second was Whitney Houston. Shocker. No shocker.
Whitney
Ariana
Houston was
Grande.
top 5 for every year of your fucking life.
She will always be. Okay,
She had
always.
every year she's in the mix.
Third was Ariana Grande. Fourth, unfortunately, was Nicki Minaj, you guys.
And that was this year's on Spotify. I haven't even looked at
No,
mine.
it wasn't. It was just on Apple Music in general. And
Well,
then
I
5
don't
was Beyonce. And it's sad that I listened more to Maga Minaj than I did Beyonce. But as I tell you, when I don't fuck with nobody no more, I do not fuck with them anymore. So Nicki Minaj is gone. She is literally not on my playlist. She will not show up in 2026. If you don't believe me, ask Janet Jackson where she was, because she used to be in my top 10. She is top 0. She's nowhere.
So Kenny, you saw it gave you your top songs or your top artists?
Yeah, where do you find that at, Kenny? Because I'm looking at.
You go to Apple Music, right? As soon as you open it.
I just went. Well, I don't have Apple Music. I have Spotify. Spotify.
But then that's probably why. So
let me tell you, this is something. People out there, do you guys? My number 1 most listened to song is from an artist named Somber, Sombr. Is there anyone in the house tonight who knows Somber, Sombr?
I don't
know. He had a
know.
song called "Back to Friends," and it was obviously my favorite song of the fucking year. And then the rest of my old songs like Ashford and Simpson, Solid, Love is a House, Force MDs, Love Me Not, Happy by Surface. So yeah, I'm old as fuck.
So where do you go, Kenny? When you go on it, it just automatically popped up.
It was like the first thing that pops up, because it should be like I forgot what the hell is it called. It's like your top something. It says see what your top music was. It's not showing me anymore because I've already saved it somewhere where I was able to see it. But
mine, of course, that was definitely in the top.
So you see it?
I don't see it, but I just see where it says like heavy rotation. And that's what
it was like the first thing that popped up, and I was so surprised on how many hours I was listening to my music. But I wasn't surprised by Whitney. Not at all.
You listened to a lot of hours? It gave you your hours. You know, I'm not. I hate Apple. So.
No, don't give Apple no more music. I mean, don't give them no more money.
Listen,
but Spotify's better. I should have probably jumped back on Spotify, but hey, it is what it is.
I love Surface. Shower Me with Your Love. Yeah, Somber is, I think, the best new artist of the year. He's a young guy, young white man, but this song is great. Back to Friends is really great. Probably it's a personal choice for personal reasons and personal things that I've gone through in in this year of another year of being single post big divorce. So with that being said, on a happier times, it's the holidays, and our last show of 2025. Because we're going to take these 2 weeks to be with family and celebrate, because every Wednesday is an Eve, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Kenny, what is the big thing that you're looking forward to the most for Christmas?
Well, I decided at the last minute that I will be going to New York for Christmas, and I'm going to take Danny with me.
What's in New York? Tell me about this.
I'm just, I always wanted to do like the Home Alone thing, just besides running into Trump inside the hotel or anything like that. But I always wanted to do Christmas in New York at one time, because New York is big on Christmas lights, and possibly walk through Central Park, because I've actually never even been to Central Park ever. I kind of just always went to New York, been downtown, and then that's it. So I want to be able to go to the Rockefeller Center. I want to see the Christmas tree, probably do some ice skating. I really want to do the whole Christmas in New York. Really have a vibe there,
Can you ice skate? Can you ice skate?
I've actually ice skated one time in Silver Spring, and it's no different from regular skating. Interesting enough, it's
you
just
better
about
hop.
the same.
You better be Nancy Kerrigan. You better hop that ass and flip.
What day are you going?
No, I can't do that now. I can't skate no figure 8, but I can, stop myself from sliding and busting my ass. I can do that.
When are you going? Like, what day are you going?
I'm going on, so I'll leave the 23rd on the train, and then I'll be there until the 26th.
Oh my
So like
goodness,
just
that's gonna be
2,
great.
3 days.
Oh, that's gonna be really, really good.
That'll be
So
fun.
you need to book a great restaurant, for Christmas dinner, or go visit some of the beloved friends. Shit, go eat with Shantae, or
That's what
uh,
I'm trying to see. I didn't get a chance to see her then, so hopefully I can be able to run into her now.
I have seen her mom's and dad's holiday plates, and I know they can cook, so I think I would try to slide over there. But everybody's giving you some great suggestions. Going to Bryant Park, Rockefeller Center, of course. I hate that I haven't had a chance to get to New York this year at Christmas time. I was able to go last year. It was last year, maybe 2023, but it's beautiful. It's always wonderful. Tiffany, what are you looking forward to most this Christmas?
Oh, just the kids, of course. I'll be in New Jersey with my family, so I'm gonna go this weekend. We have our family party on Sunday afternoon. My grandmother's coming from Florida, so this is her first Christmas without my grandfather. So it'll be nice to have her in New Jersey with all the kids and being able to enjoy them, because she really hasn't spent Christmas with us. She usually comes for like my uncle's party, because he has one every year for like the last 12 years. But she has never stayed like through Christmas. She usually just goes home afterwards. So it'll be nice to have her here, spend time with her. And she's hilarious. So I'm gonna have to make a video with her, because she's always talking mad shit.
I can't wait to see Grandma on video.
Grandma is off the chain.
I'm so happy that she is going to be there with all the kids and the little ones, because I think that's what really makes Christmas really, really special. I agree 100%. Even though it's a whole lot of them, I have a lot of them in my family, so it's going to be like my nerves be bad as fuck. I be worried about my house being destroyed, and there's never going to be a moment at Christmas when something isn't damaged forever.
Oh.
Like every day I look at my floor where I sit and work, and like my one nephew, the Virgo, he's very, very smart. So somehow he scratched the whole damn floor up with something one day. Like, I don't know what he was doing, but he scratched the whole floor up and it's never going to get fixed. And I always am like, here it comes. There's walls that get ripped, all type of shit kids do. But I'm looking most forward to the kids as well, just seeing them. And every year they're new and different, and they grow up and they change, and they go through their phases. And it's been enough kids to enough years to know what phases they're going to go through and how they're going to act. And so I'm excited about that. And we do have a baby. The baby's 18 months, so I have a little baby nephew, and this is also the first Christmas that my aunt is coming. And so my mom had two brothers and a sister. And so my only aunt is gonna come this year. She's the elder of our family that everyone's passed on, and she's not old. Like, my aunt is, I think, 63, 64 years old, but she's coming, and she's bringing her grandchildren, who are like nephews to me as well, and they're twins. And so I'm excited for them to be here. But that just means, again, it's a lot of people in my house. We're gonna have, like, what is this? Is this 14 people? I think 14 people in this house.
I mean, but you've got why he has quite a chateau. Okay, I'll say that.
Not for no 14 people, but we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be sleeping on top of each other.
Don't let him fool y'all. He's got quite a chateau. He has another house underneath his house. Okay, he's lying to y'all.
Drinking. And that's also kind of, and everyone drinks. Everyone drinks. So, and unfortunately, I'm the one who has to always be sober, because I have to be watching to make sure that, like, everything's okay.
Things don't get broken.
Right. I don't get to drink like I want to drink, but they're gonna drink, and they can't, and they're gonna take bottles and steal bottles, but it's gonna be a good time. Because they are. That's what my family. They're gonna take these bottles. Like, oh, he don't need all this. What's wrong with this man? They're gonna just grab bottles. It's gonna be.
I mean, but you should have plenty still left over from your recent party.
I have enough liquor left over from the two, because it always accumulates. So it's definitely a lot. This is the most I've ever had. So. Do we have any? Well, I guess we'll talk about the New Year plans when the New Year starts. We were back in January, so I'm excited about that. Everybody out there, we love you guys. Happy holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. Happy Kwanzaa, Habarganai. We can't wait to see you in the new year.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.